I very much like the idea of taking nearby properties and making a full design for how I think they should be developed. And I should say how we think they should be developed, not I. Because, why do I smell smoke down here? Why do I see a black place over there? Oh my God. It's like a forest fire burned down here. Nope. That is just a shade of trees. Well, that's better. But my fear is that if I help people buy land here, they will come in and they will use bad design principles to make shitty places. For example, any building built shouldn't be using any outside water. They shouldn't need any outside sewer. They should be set up to be independent towns so that they aren't weak. And amazing places to live. If I can figure out that template and then apply it to given pieces of property, then I could encourage someone to buy it with the design, somebody who loves the design. And, I don't care if they change minor things, but the primary energy systems are what matter. Having good security and having comfort, not needing anything to heat or cool the building, absolutely critical. Having it fit in with other lands really well, because your property line should not, you shouldn't design for the property line. It's one of the things I say. And that doesn't mean that you don't know it's there. It exists, but you design so that a piece of land works with nearby properties really well. So you have access to each other, for example, because you might want it. And that access might be so you can close it off. You might have tunnels that go from one property to another. Who knows? And it's not just permaculture design. Permaculture is often limited to plants and the way people think about it. I think about permaculture like social permaculture, the whole fucking deal. All of it. Slippery slope. I should get out all my architecture books. I've got some really, really weird ones. I've got one called Behavioral Architecture. It's an old book. It looks a little bit dorky in terms of its layout and diagrams and stuff, but some of the things they talk about in that book about having mathematically evaluating like access to spaces and things still affect me today, and I haven't read that book for probably 40 years, somewhere around there. It's an old book, not famous. Yeah, I like that. Design for land I don't own, and then try and find owners that match up with that desire. And say, yeah, okay, you want this much land, and don't even contact the owner yet. And then say, okay, we're going to be paying too much for this land because it's not for sale. And the seller may or may not be motivated, but that way I can also get better neighbors around. People who want to live nearby. And they don't want to make noise and stuff like that. So we'll see. Tricky stuff.